It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Stars broadcaster Cristiano Simonetta on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Outside the Box, episode number 3. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars, joined alongside by the star of the show. This is a coach's show, and it's head coach Rocky Russo. Rocky, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little under-caffeinated because every coffee shop between here and my house is closed on the way to the radio station, and I'm going to have to write a letter or something. I've got a 2-month-old daughter at home, and when I need a cup of coffee, I need a cup of coffee. I love Lincoln, but somebody get me a cup of coffee at 7:30 at night.
We were talking about this before we came on, and I think this is a great way to open up our text line, 402-464-5685. Why in the world are all these shops closed past like 6 p.m.? I have no idea why Monday and Tuesday in the city of Lincoln.
I'll tell you what, our skills and developmental coach, Curtis Brown, could not live in Lincoln if that were the case. That guy drinks like 10 cups of coffee a day. And he would absolutely lose his mind if he couldn't get some coffee at 7:30 at night.
Well, California, he's probably getting it, every 5 minutes, every single street corner has got to be selling coffee until like 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I don't think they close. I think it's the exact opposite, but same thing. 402-464-5685. Get involved with the show. Last week, Rocky, before we even talk about the games, how was your Thanksgiving? You had some visitors. It wasn't just you and your family.
No, Thanksgiving was great, and it's been a bit of a tradition now for my wife and I that we have the staff over every year, and obviously those faces change year to year. But I remember back when I was an assistant coach, and the holidays can be tough away from your families, and you can't really get home for Thanksgiving. So I had some really great head coaches when I was a young assistant that invited me into their home to spend time with their families, and so I feel like it's an important part of our staff building and the family type atmosphere that we want to have. So George and Art came over and had dinner with Melissa and Ronnie and Cammie and I, and we had a great time. We had some turkey and some stuffing and all that fun stuff, some pumpkin pie, and George brought some cookies, and Art and I had a couple of glasses of wine, so call it a great night.
I was going to say, do you have any requirements for those guys? Like, you need to bring something or else you're not getting any turkey?
No. I never asked them to bring anything. George knows by now they don't need to bring anything, but George will usually bring some sort of dessert and probably a couple beers for himself. There's never much beer at my house, so if George wants to have one of his delicious Miller Lights, then he brings those. But outside of that, Art knows there's always a nice bottle of wine in my house, so he took advantage of that.
Are you the cook, or is Melissa? How do you divvy up the odds there?
I am absolutely the cook in my house, and my wife would be the first one to tell you that. I enjoy cooking. My dad and my grandmother owned a restaurant when I was little. My dad was always the one cooking in the kitchen for all the holidays, just about every day of the week. And I cook dinner almost every night at my house. And not that my wife wouldn't. She's asked me on 1,000 occasions if she could do it. And I kind of always just say, no, I got it. But she does make great stuffing. She's got her grandmother's recipe for stuffing, so she makes that every year. And it came out wonderful again this year.
Is there a favorite dish, not even Thanksgiving, that you like to cook that you think like anybody in the world, like, this is Rocky's dish, everybody's got to like it?
No, I mean, I think that, I'm Italian, so the homemade meatballs and the sauce, those recipes have been passed down from generations in my family. And so I'm fortunate. All of my dad and my 2 uncles kind of all made it a little bit differently. And so I've got 3 different versions of that sauce, and then put my own spin on the meatballs a little bit with some ground veal or some lamb on occasion, and just kind of put a nice little taste to those. But that's something I take a lot of pride in, is my sauce and meatballs. And so whenever we're having a big Sunday gathering, that's usually what we're making.
Ethan, let's bring you in. Producer Ethan, what did you do for Thanksgiving last week?
Well, I had to work on Black Friday for the football game, and so I wasn't able to go home to Montana. So I made Thanksgiving turkey for one, and my cat and I shared a nice day together.
What's the cat's name? Hold on, we haven't even gone to the origin story here.
My cat's name is Milo. Okay. I got him a year ago this month, and my parents did not know about him until last month.
So cat or dog guy, you'll lean cat.
I'm an animal person, and the cat is just a little bit more self-sufficient. Dog, you have to walk it. You have to let it outside to go to the bathroom. Cat kind of just does its own thing.
Rocky, do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog.
Yeah.
I would have a dog. I've had dogs for most of my life, and then I moved to Amarillo the first time with 2 dogs, and I left with 0 dogs, unfortunately. And so life got a little crazy after that. Obviously, I was living alone in Philly for 4 years, and my wife and I got together out there and moved back to Amarillo, and all of a sudden it was time to build a family, and kids and newborns and dogs don't usually mix, and especially when I'm on the road a lot. So my wife would love a dog. I know our daughter Ronnie would absolutely kill to have a dog, but it's a timing thing right now. We definitely will somewhere down the line, but just not quite yet.
You're listening to Outside the Box, a Lincoln Stars coaches show. So let's get into the games this past weekend for you guys. An unusual weekend for you guys in terms of the results. You get 1 point on Friday night against Sioux Falls in South Dakota, and then you drop the game 2-1 on Saturday against Omaha. Both really close games. Let's talk about the Friday night game first. You guys come out a little slow against Sioux Falls, but it's a building and a team that you've had success in, and the Stars have had success in for the past couple seasons. You were 3-0 against the Stampede coming into that game on Friday. What did you see from your team's start?
Well, I thought both teams started pretty sloppy in the first period, and it was just one of those games where the puck was kind of bouncing all over the place. Nobody was really making any clean plays, and there was nothing much to write home about in the first period. We gave one up, we got one back. It was 1-1, and kind of just we weren't generating a whole lot of offense. They weren't getting much. The officiating got in the way in that game quite a bit. I thought it was one of the more poorer efforts of the year by the officiating, which I don't normally have a whole lot of negative to say, but I just thought it was a tough game for them. They let some stuff go they shouldn't have. They called some stuff that wasn't really in the way and didn't really change the dynamic of the game. And then we had some tough ones where we probably should have gotten some power plays in some critical times of the game that we didn't, and that's going to happen. You can control a lot of things in a game. You cannot control the officiating. So but I did feel like that was a tough part of that game. And then obviously we get into overtime, and we take a tough penalty in overtime. We're a pretty darn good 3-on-3 team, and I liked our chances against that team. I think we're faster than them in that 3-on-3 setting, but we get a questionable call in overtime. We kill it off, but we never really got the motor running in the 3-on-3 situation.
And are you a fan of the change to 3-on-3 overtime?
I like the 3-on-3 overtime quite a bit. In fact, I would venture to say that I'd like it to go 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes and try to generate a winner that way. I think the skills competition of the shootout, I don't care for it. I know it's exciting for the fans. Obviously, we got the big shootout winner in our home barn a few weeks ago, but I'd rather win the game in a 3-on-3 situation. I don't want to end in a tie. Let's play 10 minutes of 3-on-3, and if we don't get a winner, then by all means go to a shootout. I think the fans need a resolution when they leave the game at the end of the day. I never liked the classic 5-minute overtime and then a tie in the NHL back in the day. So I do think the shootout is necessary to some degree, but I'd much rather try to solve it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it's almost an unfair spotlight, and you can either relish it if you're the team winning and you have shootout shooters, but sometimes it's just like, all right, let's flip a coin. Let's send some guys out there. You hit a post, bad ice. I mean, it's really a toss-up when it comes to a shootout.
Well, we got in the shootout, and Mason had their goalie beat clean on the first one, and the puck just kind of rolled off his stick, and then Wallen had the goalie beat clean, and he somehow managed to catch his back skate on the puck as it slid through his 5-hole, and then I thought Joe had him too, but it's just one of those things. It's really a luck thing, and your goalie sometimes comes up with a couple saves, sometimes he doesn't. But it always frustrates me because if you win that skills competition, you go back to the locker room, you're feeling great because you just found a way to win, but you lose this silly shootout, and all of a sudden you feel like you lost the game. And so I don't think it's really a true indicator of the result.
No, and especially when you look at Caden Mbarico throughout that entire game, and we'll break him down throughout the entire weekend because he was arguably,
unbelievable.
Clearly, your guys' best player through the first 2 games there, and just the save after save after save. The one on Maddox Fleming, I mean, that's a glove save. You want to throw your head back because the 2-on-0 partially the other way, and then he throws the left hand up.
Yeah, we made a huge mistake there. We got caught on a change, and we got stuck out too long, and then turned the puck over instead of getting it behind their D, and so they got a really dangerous scoring chance for, and as Caden has done time and time again, he came up with an absolute monstrous save.
And just today, he was announced to the U.S. Hockey World Junior preliminary roster. And for those of you that don't know, the World Juniors, as they call it, an under-20 tournament, the IIHF World Juniors, it's such a big deal. It's starting to grow in the United States, Rocky, and the United States has won 5 times. Canada's won 18 times, but the United States reigning winners, and a big honor for Caden to be named to that prelim roster.
Well, first of all, that tournament, if you're a hockey fan, or even if you're not a hockey fan, like, find that tournament, watch that tournament. It is, for me as a hockey guy, I get so excited for World Juniors, and my wife knows, like, the day after Christmas where there's going to be World Junior hockey on TV all day long, and we couldn't get it in Amarillo. I found some jacked website that I could kind of link off of it and throw it up on the TV and watch it. And I remember we were walking through the mall, and I had it on my phone because I was just so addicted to watching the game. So I'm thrilled for Caden and the opportunity. There's 4 goalies at the preliminary event. He's got to be one of 3 to make the tournament. I'm very optimistic he's going to be one of them. He's just got to go and be himself, which is a number one, a fabulous human being, but a great goalie that certainly, I think, is deserving of the opportunity to represent our country at that tournament.
Yes, Stars alum Dominic James also named to that prelim roster.
There's another Stars alum there, if I'm correct.
It may have been before me, if that is the case.
If you pull up that roster, I was peeking through it. I'm pretty sure
Jacqueline Mcdonald, who we drafted him. Yes.
Okay, that's how. But he played in the O.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. The USHL
he played 7 games, so technically, he is an alum. So Well, I just remember the coaching staff a couple of years ago. We didn't really want to mention him too much because
Well, he went to Major Junior, but at the end of the day, he played a small part in Lincoln Stars history. Now he has a chance to represent on the world stage for the U.S., and I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a Tampa Bay Lightning draft pick as well. We're talking Lincoln Stars hockey with head coach Rocky Russo outside the box. So you finally got a taste, Rocky. I've been bugging you the past couple of weeks about it. The Omaha-Lincoln rivalry, you shrug at it, and that's a perfect reaction because, you're not used to that sort of, build up between these two teams, but also it was just an opponent that you had to get 2 points from, and unfortunately you were unable to do so.
Well, we should have. We played okay that game. We had a couple chances where we should have buried some pucks. Again, penalty late in the game not called. Jack Larrigan gets buried from behind, and he doesn't get called. I can't tell you we're going to score on that power play, but it's certainly a good opportunity for us. And then we made a trio of mistakes on the goal against. It started with with our forwards not being in the right spot, and because of that, we weren't able to do what we needed to do on the defensive blue line, and it kind of turned into a domino effect where they were able to score. But I felt bad for Caden because he deserved a better result from that. I will say that the rivalry's not there for me yet, but there's some things that happened off the ice and kind of some shenanigans, we'll call them, that I can see why there's a little bit of that. I'm certain that if they came into our building, we would treat them with more respect than maybe they treated some of us in their building, and that's a little sad to see because, rivalry or not, we're the best junior league in the country, and so that rubbed me the wrong way, and I'll remember that when the time comes. But I'm not there yet with the whole rivalry thing yet. I'm excited to play them again and beat them just because they found a way to steal one from us on Saturday.
And then when a goal like that happens, it was Michael Cameron scoring with 15.5 seconds left in the third period. It's a backbreaker for you guys. And then how do you carry that after that weekend where you had a point, you go to the shootout, you lose, and then you have almost another point through 60 minutes, but it falls through your fingertips. It's an 0-2-1 stretch for you guys over your last 3, but still a good record so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's fine. Like, obviously, we're not thrilled with 0-2-1 in our last 3, but we're 6-3-1 in our last 10, and we're still sitting, technically tied for third place right now, and an awful lot of hockey left to be played. So I'm not stressed at all about where we're sitting. In fact, I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting right now. And big games in front of us this weekend against two opponents that sit above us, and an opportunity to continue to climb that ladder.
And 5 straight games at the Icebox, a huge homestand for you. We got plenty of promos. We're going to give away some tickets later on in the show. But for you, the excitement level you've already seen, when it comes to Lucas Wallen's game-winning shootout goal against Sioux City, or the late tie against Des Moines and the overtime winner from Henry Nelson. You've seen a little bit of what this building can do. How excited are you for those 5 straight?
Oh, I think the fans here in Lincoln are starting to get a taste of winning Stars hockey, which they haven't had for a while. And so the support has really started to rise. This is a big opportunity for our fans to watch us play against some really good opponents over the next 3 weekends. And then obviously, we've got some great promotions. We've got teddy bear toss. We've got a jersey auction coming up. And so, anytime you play Sioux City, Tri-City in a weekend at home, that should be pretty exciting for our fans. And obviously some talented teams coming in and provide a great challenge for us.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to give out a little trivia question for you guys in the next, 15 minutes or so. That text line is going to be 402-464-5685. Friday night, ugly sweater night at the Icebox against Sioux City. Saturday night of Champions, which is a lot of youth sports teams, not the biggest promotion, but it's a big game against Tri-City. And you don't want to look past Sioux City because they're right above you in the standings in the West. But what about Tri-City? You talked about them last week on the show, and also in a post-game interview about how they're a model organization for you guys. They're heralded by Anthony Noreen. They're unstoppable this year, it seems, in the West. What is most impressive about their start to you?
Well, I mean, they've obviously drafted so well, but they've got 14 veteran players, and then you add Mitchell Miller. That's 15 veteran players on a 23-man roster. Like, you should be really good with that. And then of those, 6 guys or 8 guys that aren't veterans, well, one of them's Sergeyev, who's, by the way, a 2-year junior veteran before this. He played 2 years in the North American Hockey League. So they brought in some big time talent with guys that have a lot of junior hockey experience. And so those guys are carrying the mail for them. And then, certainly the guys that they brought back that, they developed. Gavin Brindley, he was the 16-year-old in the league last year. They just let him play. And now he's a dominant player for them this year. They're doing the same thing with Tanner Adams and Andrew Strathman. And so I really appreciate the fact that they mix the young development of their 05s and 16-year-olds with their older guys and manage to constantly have their cupboard full in regards to the way that they develop and they draft. And so, Anthony and Jason Kohler are wily veterans at this now. And so that's certainly something that we want to develop here in Lincoln. And it takes time. It's not as simple as picking a team up and running with it and winning the Clark Cup. Obviously, we hope to do that this year, but you want to build longevity with an organization, and you have to do that with player development and also with great drafting.
Yeah, you just mentioned Tri-City's ability to have that youth infused into their roster, and that's what you guys have seen through the early part of the year, albeit because of some injuries up front. But you have Dashiell Oliver, Keaton Peters. You've had guys fly up the lineup a little bit instead of just burying these younger players. So do you see that as a positive, that you're developing these guys as opposed to, all right, let's just play the 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, up to 20 minutes a night and give these guys some more exposure?
Well, there's certainly something to be said for, our 2 guests later in the show, Noah Laba and Aiden Thompson. Those guys, they need to play 20 plus minutes a night, but you need to get the Dashiell Olivers 12, 14 minutes. You need to get, we had Wyatt Olson in last weekend, and he didn't play a ton, but he got his first taste of junior hockey. Tanner Ludke played 11 or 12 games for us at the beginning of the year, and he'll come back at the end of the year, at the end of his high school season. Keaton Peters is playing a regular shift for us now. Patrick Raftery, another 04, he's playing a lot. So Christian Kosas, obviously, those guys are the future of the Lincoln Stars, but they're also contributing to the current team as well.
And now with these injuries up front, you've got Carter Shade, Joe LeMay, guys in the back end banged up. You bring up Jack Messick from the North Iowa Bulls. You've had a familiarity with that guy, 2 years coaching him in the North American League. So when you have that flexibility to bring it up, I think we've talked about it just briefly on the show, but how nice is that to have that flexibility to dip into that prospect pool and be like, all right, North Iowa, here's the pipeline right to Lincoln, Nebraska.
Well, I think when Mr. Fernandez initially purchased the Amarillo Bulls at the time, and also the North Iowa Bulls, who were then at that point in the NA3HL, his goal was always to have a USHL team, and he wanted that pyramid of development, right, where we could have the USHL, the North American League, the NA3HL, and now we're also in the process of trying to develop some high-end AAA youth hockey as well. And if you can get a U18, a U16 team, and work your way to having premier top-tier talent at every level, then we can really watch these kids go through our ranks from, say, the Lehigh younger kids here and build that youth program. They've already done a tremendous job of it, but we just want to facilitate helping it grow even more. And then ultimately matriculating into the higher levels of hockey and maybe one day being a Lincoln Star. I think that's such an awesome thing. And having Jack Messick there 4 hours down the road, and Casey Repke's right there too. We wanted to bring Casey up. Casey was sick, unfortunately, but I coached 3/4 of that team last year, and so Jack has been a player for George and I for 2 years. He knows the systems, he knows the structure. He jumped right in. I thought he played outstanding on Saturday, and that was because of that familiarity of already having played with the staff and knowing what the expectations were.
And then how chaotic is that? You just said 4 hours down the road to bring up Jack in a situation where you see Joe LeMay get injured on Friday night. For you as a coach, how much is overload of information in terms of structure and systems, and how much is it just, hey, go play your game? You played hockey for a long enough time.
Well, that's why when you bring a guy like Jack, the transition's easy. Not easy from a league perspective, but easy from a systematic perspective, because we haven't really changed anything that we do here versus what we did in Amarillo. We wanted to play fast. We wanted to break out quickly. We wanted to get pucks up the ice. And so Jack knows how we play. And we're like, hey, Jack, this is what we do. He's like, perfect. I'm used to that. I did that for 120 games for you. I could come do it for another one. And odds are he's going to be here again this weekend because Joe's still going to be out. But that whole situation was hectic. I did not find out Joe was actually injured until Saturday morning. I had seen him get hit in the first period during the game. Didn't really think much of it. He finished the game. It appears as if he's got a little bit of an upper body injury that'll keep him out for a week or so. But Corey felt like he might be okay. Ultimately, we kind of erred on the side of caution in regards to keeping him out on Saturday and probably keep him out again this weekend just to make sure. But we were able to get Jack up. And if we didn't have that team, didn't have the proximity to that team, and obviously the scenario where we have the guys there that we've been able to coach and develop, then that process would have been tremendously more difficult.
And I'm not sure if you want to publicly talk about some of the moves over the last couple of days that you guys have made. Are you comfortable with talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, we had to make a tough decision to move Jack Larrigan. It was a situation best for Jack. We feel like he needs a little bit more development before he comes back and plays for us full time. And we love Jack, and we see Jack in a Stars uniform again down the road, but he's going to go play for the Janesville Jets right now. Keaton Peters, who was on our affiliate list, was playing in Janesville, and we had a need at center, obviously, after Tanner left. And so Keaton fills that need. And so Jack's going to report to Janesville and probably get a little bit of a bigger role, play on the power play, play in top six. And Jack was a big time player coming out of Shattuck St. Mary's. He's a Notre Dame commit. And I have no doubt that once he gets his footing there and starts to put some pucks in the net, he's going to be the old Jack Larrigan that everybody expects, and he'll be back here and be a fan favorite for the Stars.
Yeah, there was a reason why he was drafted in the top 10 of his futures draft. Is that a tough conversation? I know that's an understatement, but when you have to tell a kid, hey, this is what we plan on doing, we're moving you. I mean, it can't be easy talking to 20 to 30-year-old men in pro leagues, but when it's a 16 to 20-year-old kid, what is that conversation like?
You know what? If anybody tells you that it gets easier over time, they're lying to you. I've been doing this for 17 years, and those conversations are are challenging every single time because you care about the players. And you never want to see a player have to leave. But in this particular situation, it was more about, hey, this is what's in Jack's best interest long term. And because of that, I felt comfortable having the conversation. And, Jack took it like an absolute pro. He knew that this was probably best for him in the short term to get some bigger opportunity. And Jack wants to be a star. He wants to be back here, and we want nothing more than to have that. So it wasn't goodbye. We weren't trading him and saying, hey, your time here is done. It was, we're just going to send you on a little bit of an alternate path so that you can do what you need to do to come back and help us win.
And for those of you that don't know, the Janesville Jets is in the North American Hockey League. So if you can, Rocky, I know I'm grilling you with a lot of questions in the opening segment here, but can you talk about that relationship between sending a guy down to the North American Hockey League and it's, technically a trade, and how all those schematics run through?
Yeah, I mean, there's, obviously I coached in the North American Hockey League for 12 years. I've got a really good relationship with Parker Burgess, who's the head coach there in Janesville, and Joe Dibble, who's the general manager. And so, we trust those guys from a developmental standpoint. They've done a great job of bringing their players along, sending them to the USHL when the time is right. And we know that Jack's in good hands. So we had brought Keaton up to play some affiliate games with us. And obviously, when we made the decision to keep Keaton full time, we wanted to try to help Janesville out and put them in a position to have a good player to kind of fill the role that they were losing with Keaton. And we didn't make the decision solely based on that. If Jack was in a great situation here, we would have found another way to make that work. But we felt like it was a win-win for Jack and for Janesville and for us to, help Jack develop, for us to get Keaton in here on a full-time basis, and for Janesville to fill the need that they had in the short term. So, you kind of work out that trade agreement, and, Jack understood. He actually waived his right to go through USHL waivers, which would have opened him up to other opportunities in the league. He wasn't interested in that. He wanted to go to Janesville because he knows that his future's with Lincoln, and we were able to slide him right to our affiliate list. So we maintain his rights in the league, and we will make sure and bring him back.
You're listening to Outside the Box. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Aiden Thompson and Noah Laba.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location, or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD done right.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill has food and drink specials every night for all the games. Enjoy jumbo pork tenderloin for $8.99 and 90-cent wings for Monday Night Football, or Comfort Thursday Night Football with chicken fried chicken, steak, or pork for just $9.99 and $20 Coors Light aluminum buckets. Watch college football on Saturdays with an Aggie sandwich for $9.99 and Coors Light specials, and catch NFL Sundays with Bloody Marys and more. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
And now, story time from the world of Yum.
I could not eat fruitcake. I would not eat it by a lake. I would not eat it with a snake. There's no amount that I would take because I'll never, ever eat fruitcake. Hey, these snacks are really good. What is this? This is Grandma's fruitcake, but it's so moist and delicious. I like fruitcake. Okay, good to know. Kids, I gotta go. All literature is a lie.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Go ahead, let it sleet, let it slush, and let it snow. Because the pros at T.O. Haas Tire are ready to help you with a new set of tires guaranteed to get you through it all. Like the complete line of Michelin tires, including the X-Ice Snow Tire. And right now, you can get $70 back when you buy any 4 new Michelin tires at the T.O. Haas Tire near you.
T.O. Haas, Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake. Lincoln's mega liquidation store is here. Wholesale Logistics is now open on West O Street as a bin store with tons of liquidation pallets, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. Brand new mattresses 30 to 60% off retail with well-known brands. New furniture also 30 to 60% off retail value. Brand new LG scratch and dent appliances 35 to 40% off retail. Wholesale Logistics purchases truckloads of smaller items from major retailers and throws them into bins, with everything starting at just $8. Get to Wholesale Logistics, open each Friday to Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2811 West O Street.
Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Stars broadcaster Cristiano Simonetta on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's up, everybody? We're back for Outside the Box. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, joined by Stars head coach Rocky Russo. Before we get to our guest today, Rocky, today's show is brought to you by Farm Bureau agent Rick Michener. When it comes to insurance, all you need to remember is Rick Michener. He's your local Farm Bureau financial services agent and can be your one agent for life, auto, home, farm and ranch, and business insurance. Rick Michener in Lincoln. It's your future. Let's protect it. Noah Laba, Aiden Thompson, segment number 2. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Thanks for having us.
You guys were listening to it on the way here, so you're nervous? You guys have been in front of the camera. You know, I've grilled you guys for a year now, both of you, but it seems like you guys are ready to go.
Nah, me and Aiden are used to it. We're camera guys, so. Anna does a great job of preparing us for the questions and being in front of the camera.
That's why I'm going to give Rocky the first question, because this is kind of weird. Your head coach, you've been coached by him all season long, and now he's going to be, in the hot seat once again, giving you guys some questions. So Rocky, take it away. Let's start it off.
Noah, does your nose still hurt?
I mean, a little bit to the touch. I got hit pretty hard, so.
You still going to wear that fishbowl this weekend?
Unfortunately, I have to. I mean, I was getting some chirps about it, but, at the end of the day, like, I can just go in a corner without a worry.
You feel a little bit more reckless with that thing on, don't you?
With my bubble on?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Definitely protects. Into the mic, please. Protects.
That took all of 2 minutes before we had to tell him to talk into the mic, Toms.
Hey, I'm new to
like
this.
on the ice. So, guys, obviously we're fooling around a little bit here. Noah just asked me when I get my REM sleep. Like I got a 2-month-old at home. Like I don't even know what REM sleep is anymore, and neither does my wife. But in all seriousness, you guys have both been here in Lincoln for 2 years, and I think it was a little bit of a tough year last year. Tell us what has changed in regards to Lincoln Stars hockey and what you're enjoying most about the experience so far.
I'll start it off. So first of all, mostly just the guys wanting to come to the rink. I mean, that's at least the biggest change from last year. This year, guys are a little more excited to come to the rink and kind of start winning, and winning feels good, and everybody's happy when we start winning. So try to keep that going, and that's probably the biggest change for me, at least.
Yeah, like Laba said, winning is awesome. The more you win, the happier it is. Coach sometimes talks about winning cures all. So good days are a little bit better. Your worst days are not so bad. So one thing that I would say changed from last year is just the start of the year. We just had such a great start this year. And that's really helped kick things off.
And Aiden, you had some Lincoln Stars ties before last season. I'm not going to talk about you right now. Let's turn it over to Lava, because Noah, last year, before main camp, you were in Sioux Falls trying out for the Sioux Falls Stampede. So what was that process like, going through that camp, and then you get picked up by the Lincoln Stars?
Man, are you lucky you didn't make that team?
Yeah. So didn't know really where I was going to end up before last year. Kind of just fresh off U16, wasn't drafted or anything, so just looking for a place to play. And then the Sioux Falls assistant coach invited me to their camp. Played at their camp, thought I did really well. Actually thought I did better there than the Lincoln camp. Got cut there. Obviously it's tough, and then that kind of helped build my resume for Lincoln's camp, and then came to Lincoln and ended up making the team. So
did you know anything about Lincoln, Nebraska before you got here?
No, but it's a lot better than Sioux Falls. Not gonna lie. It's a great little town, and no, I actually like it a lot.
Go Big Red.
This is just an anti-Sioux Falls Stampede radio show now.
No, gosh, no. Whatever. Fine, it could be anti-Sioux Falls, but I'm glad that he did make that team. If he would have made that team, we'd be playing against him every night, and I'd much rather have Lobs playing for us.
Yeah, and then Lobs, you commit to Colgate last year. You have 5 power play goals, and now this season you're almost at a point-a-game player. So for you, what has been your biggest improvement from year 1 to year 2?
I think just my off-ice training and on the ice over the summer. It's probably what I contribute most of my successes to. Try not to really worry about the points and just play, and think at the end of the day, if you do that, you'll end up on the right side.
And speaking of teams, that we're glad you're not playing for, we're glad Aiden Thompson isn't playing for the Portland Winterhawks, who he was initially drafted by in 2017. Instead, Aiden, you're drafted by the Stars with the 27th overall pick in the 2018 Futures Draft. What was that decision like? Instead of going up to the WHL, you went to the USHL instead.
Yeah, that was a really tough decision, whether to go to college or go the major junior route. I think the thing that just pushed me and my family over the edge for the college route decision was you just have more time. In major junior, for some people that don't know, or those that do, you only have till you're 20 until you have to make that decision to turn pro or whether to retire. So, and in college, you can play till you're 25. So I think that's the one thing that pushed me over the edge to go the college route.
And I think, obviously the dynamic of junior hockey has changed so vastly over the last 10 or 15 years. In the past, it was all the legitimate pro prospects were playing major junior hockey, right? But now you're seeing so many guys come out of the USHL, go to college hockey, being drafted out of the USHL or college, going on and having successful NHL careers. Then I think 3 out of the top 5 guys picked in the NHL draft last year were all college hockey players. The number 1 overall pick was a former USHL player and a college hockey player. So I think that dynamic has changed drastically, and certainly major junior is a great alternative for the right player. But the long-term development of playing USHL and ultimately college hockey, I think, just makes so much more sense for so many players.
You're listening to Outside the Box. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, joined alongside by Rocky Russo. We're also joined by Noah Lava and Aiden Thompson. And back to Aiden. So instead of playing your first full season in the USHL, you got an 8-game, tryout, quote unquote. You went back to high school, and then your first full season is last year, and you have 30 plus points. You come into this league, and you're like, all right, I think I can hang here. And now in your second year, you have 17 assists, or 17 points, I should say. You were at the top of the league before you went down with an upper body injury. So for you, same question I asked Noah. Since that off season, what have you felt to get yourself more prepared for a grueling 62-game season?
Kind of just like what Laba talked about, the off-ice stuff is so important at this age. We're obviously still young. We're still developing with our bodies. So just to have 3 months to work out on and off the ice, I think is so huge. So for me, like one thing I've been working on is my shot. And like Laba, one thing he might be working on is his shot as well. So to have 3 months to develop those things is huge for for this season compared to last season.
And is it much better winning? You know, you came in 2018-19 and a team that won 12 games, and then last year you missed the playoffs, and this year you guys already got 10 wins. So both of your guys' perspectives. I know Rocky already asked that question earlier on of what has changed with Lincoln Stars hockey, but more than just the wins, how much fun are you guys having? We'll start with Aiden.
Yeah, this season, like I said earlier, has been awesome so far. The start we've had, I mean, it could always be better, but just this year, everything's been so, not even just the wins, just coming to the rink. The team's super close. We're happy with the new guys. I think they're happy with us. But yeah, Bob, do you have anything?
I mean, playing hockey's fun, so just try to keep it that way. And as much as it is a job, you got to make sure the guys are enjoying it, or they're not going to want to come and get better and listen and learn. So
I think we practiced pretty hard today, right? But we had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh yeah.
We had a pretty good competition day today, Anno, with a lot of small area games and guys getting after it pretty good. We even had a fight today in practice. So
the second this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now for you, because again, you're not just the interviewer with these guys. I want to know your perspective on that when it comes to fights in practice. I mean, I remember when I was covering the St. Louis Blues, it was David Backes versus Vladimir Tarasenko, and everybody's losing their minds. It's a top player, young player versus a captain. So at this level, what are your thoughts on that when you see two competitors going at it?
I love it. It shows two guys that are passionate, and in the case that we had today, it was just two guys going really hard during a small area game, and they both got up and patted each other on the back when they were done, and I think there's a level of respect when you're willing to fight one of your own teammates in the heat of the moment in practice. It shows the passion that we have for what we're trying to accomplish during practice. So, obviously we don't want to see anybody get hurt, but the guys know how to take care of themselves in that instance. And obviously there's sometimes it's done in the heat of the moment. I think in that Backes Tarasenko situation that you referenced, that's a captain trying to put a young guy in his place and let him know that he's got to bring more, and he's got to maybe check his attitude or his ego a little bit. I've seen that happen before. And so it can be done for a number of reasons. Today just happened to be two guys going really hard, and the emotions got them. And when it was over, it was over.
And do you like that accountability, whether it's a guy wearing a letter or not? A lot of guys in this room, and not even just because of these two. One, Aiden is an alternate captain. Laba doesn't wear a letter, but Noah's leadership, I don't mean to make him feel uncomfortable, but you could see it bleeds.
Oh, Lobs could easily wear a letter on our team. In fact, we've had that conversation about him being such an important leader for us. And so, I think sure it's great if it's a captain, but today it was just, it was two guys that got after it a little bit, that are both passionate about winning, and they were both pretty jazzed up about trying to win the competition that we had going on today. It was white versus blue, and there was some chirping going on, and I think that sometimes the emotions get you, and I think that's awesome. I think that's what we want. You don't want guys going through the motions in practice. You need practice to be game-like. You need the speed and the pace and the competitive nature there to really mimic what you're going to see on a Friday and Saturday night.
Who's the best trash talker on the team, guys?
Ooh, probably. I mean, the best, and who does it the most?
You probably do it the most, honestly.
I think Lava did it a lot in Des Moines, and then what happened to him?
Yeah, I got put on my ass, but
I think Gleb chirps a lot of guys for sure, but I don't know if he's the best.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Gleb does.
You got to be quick-witted to be a good chirper. If not, you kind of sound like a dummy. So anybody that's got a really good sense of humor and somebody that's got quick wit to him generally is pretty good with the chirps.
Is there a worse guy on the team when it comes to that situation where if he opens his mouth, it's not really going to come out the right way?
I don't know. I put Shader up there.
I was thinking the exact same thing, but I didn't want to say it.
Well, that's why he's a leader right here. You don't need to wear a letter to say something like
Shader.
that.
See, I don't get to hear a lot of that stuff, obviously. What happens on the ice kind of doesn't resonate on the bench. So I really wouldn't know who to say. I would just imagine Mastro's probably not a great chirper either, but
he's too busy smiling.
I know. That's what I mean. He's smiling the whole time. So how could you chirp anybody with that big smile on your face?
We'll be back with thumbs up and thumbs down. You are listening to Outside the Box. We'll be back with a trivia question, giving away some tickets too when we come back.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill has food and drink specials every night for all the games. Enjoy jumbo pork tenderloin for $8.99 and 90-cent wings for Monday Night Football, or Comfort Thursday Night Football with chicken fried chicken, steak, or pork for just $9.99 and $20 Coors Light aluminum buckets. Watch college football on Saturdays with an Aggie sandwich for $9.99 and Coors Light specials, and catch NFL Sundays with Bloody Marys and more. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location, or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season. I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show. So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win? Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.
I check in so I can feel like me.
And I check in so I look good for you.
No matter why you check in, you'll check out with a great haircut and save time with our online check-in app. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Go ahead, let it sleet, let it slush, and let it snow. Because the pros at T.O. Haas Tire are ready to help you with a new set of tires guaranteed to get you through it all. Like the complete line of Michelin tires, including the X-Ice Snow Tire. And right now, you can get $70 back when you buy any 4 new Michelin tires at the T.O. Haas Tire near you.
T.O. Haas, Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Back to Outside the Box with Rocky Russo and Cristiano Simonetta on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back with Rocky Russo, Noah Laba, Aiden Thompson. I'm Cristiano Simonetta. We're giving away a couple of family 4-packs that are good for any of this weekend's games, Friday or Saturday. Get to this text line right now. We got 15 minutes left in the show. 402-464-5685. That's 402-464-5685. The question is, who scored the first goal of the regular season for the Lincoln Stars. If you know it, Noah and Aiden, do not shout it out, but rush to those text lines, get that question answered, and you can maybe score yourself a 4-pack for this weekend's games. Rocky, thanks so much for submitting that question. Are you just going to do this every week where you got something for our great listeners here?
Yeah, absolutely. I could come up with something good every week. That one's a pretty easy one, but I'll get creative with those week after week.
Maybe some Ohio State trivia or...
Yeah, I mean, I'm a diehard Ohio State fan. You can try to chirp me all you want. They played bad this weekend. It is what it is, but scarlet and gray, and that's just what it is.
We'll have some hot takes coming up here. It's time for thumbs up and thumbs down. These guys love to argue as much as anybody. They live
Lava
together.
sure does.
Oh,
if anybody likes to argue, it's Lava.
Well, Aiden Thompson has a certificate. Aiden, tell me a little bit about this. You got it last December. I wonder if you'll get it 2 times in a row.
I do. We had Secret Santa, and I got certificate for, I don't even know what the certificate said. Best arguer. I don't even remember.
It was very nice. It was
Everyone
laminated
signed it.
for you.
Maybe
I was debate. I also got a medal, best debate team member.
He also got. I should give him one for the best toddler fit that he threw today at practice when he gave up 3 goals in his first shift in the second game because he didn't understand the rules of the game, and so we had to laugh at him a little bit about that. But that's also what makes Tom's great is the competitive side of things.
Well, these are some NHL thumbs up and thumbs down hot takes for you guys. The first one, it's polarizing in the National Hockey League right now because of how good this player is, but Alex Ovechkin will break Wayne Gretzky's record of 894 goals. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Noah, start it off.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I think, he's just everybody thinks he's going to slow down like every year, but he never does. So I think he'll get it, and I think he's definitely striving for it. So as long as he doesn't get an injury or something like that, I think he'll do it.
Rocky, will the grade 8 do it?
You know what? I think he's so focused on it that he is going to do it, and it's certainly an incredible record. He's still going to be 2,000 some points shy of Wayne Gretzky because Gretzky's got more assists than everybody else has points total, but that goal record is special, and I think doing it in this era is even more special. No disrespect to the number of goals that Wayne Gretzky scored, but he did it against different goaltenders and a different style, and so pretty impressive what Alex Ovechkin's doing.
Aiden, thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm gonna have to go with thumbs up. Kind of like Lava said, he's not slowing down, and I think even if he does slow down, I think he's not leaving until he breaks that record.
It's always what Lava says.
Connor McDavid will never win a Stanley Cup.
No, I gotta give it a thumbs down. I think he will. He's the greatest player to ever play. So
the greatest player to ever play.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him there.
See, that's like you say ridiculous things, and then you wonder why people say this about you. Like,
no disrespect to Wayne, but
no disrespect to Wayne. That's the most disrespectful thing you could possibly say.
Wayne's listening in right now. We got him on.
I am calling Wayne Gretzky when we get off. Like, Lion Messier played here. We know how to get a hold of the Messiers and the Gretzkys. I'm going to let him know.
All right, Rocky. So thumbs up, thumbs down on Connor McDavid not being the greatest player of all time, but will he hoist Lord Stanley?
I'm going to give you a hot take, and I'm going to tell you that he's going to win a Stanley Cup, but it's not going to be with the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay. Do you have a team in mind, or just it's not Edmonton?
No, I just have a feeling that as good as, and I think they're good this year. I do, and if they can start to figure it out, but I've always felt that there was issues at the higher levels of that organization, and that's always kind of held them back for the last however 20 years. And so maybe if they get out of the way and let them build that program, there's some dynamic players on that roster right now. But if he finds out, he looks over the course of the next few years that they're not giving him the free agents and the pieces that he needs, then when his contract expires, he's going to go somewhere where he has a chance to win.
Yeah, maybe he'll join Crosby in Colorado. No, I'm kidding.
Get out of here.
That'd be awesome.
Aiden, what about you? You model yourself after this guy a little bit. I've seen you make a couple moves in the offensive zone like him, which is pretty incredible.
Lava's face was unbelievable when you said that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks,
Aiden knows exactly what I'm talking about, the one move that he tries.
Wait, is that your player comparison, McDavid?
In his opinion?
Are we hearing it right now?
100%. If that's your player comparison, who you
Can
want
we just
to
get a
play
confirmation right now? Player comparison, Connor McDavid.
It's not a bad thing.
Obviously, if I could be like Connor McDavid, I would like to be like Connor McDavid. Thank you, Anna.
Wouldn't we all?
But does he win the Stanley Cup?
I think McDavid wins the Stanley Cup within the next 5 years with Edmonton.
That is a really good take.
All right.
This next one, not about a player, but where the NHL and maybe the USHL could go in the future. Regulation wins should be counted as 3 points. Overtime shootout wins counting as 2. Lava, start us off.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I think it's fine how it is. I don't really see a need for that. Yeah.
I'm not a math guy, and so I'm not a big fan of 3-point games and 2-and-1 games and what have you. Like, to me, if we're going to include overtime as part of that process, like, we each get a point once we get into overtime, and then we duel it out in overtime for another point. I think if it's not broke, there's no need to fix it. And I think in this case, it's just fine set up the way that it is.
Aiden, what about you?
I haven't thought about this too much, but I'm not opposed to it. I think some research needs to be done, but
Lava, can you do some research for us?
Yeah, I'll look into
Lava
it.
will get on that. He loves to do it.
I think if Aiden had the opposite opinion of you, I think you would both argue.
Who's the commissioner of the league?
Gary Bettman?
No. We're talking about the
Bill
NHL?
Robertson.
You could say both. But
Robert?
Robertson, yes.
I'll give him a call.
You got him on speed dial.
Yeah, when he got suspended, he wanted to know who he needed to call about his suspension. He wanted to personally appeal it.
I think there should be a court. I'm not going to lie, for suspensions, but that's another topic.
All right, rapid fire this last one, guys. Playoff beards are overrated.
No, they're not overrated.
Can you even grow a beard, Love?
No.
I can't grow a beard, so whatever. Guys want to grow it, let them grow it. Doesn't really matter to me. I might go playoff hair. What do you think about that?
I think they're overrated.
Because you can't grow one either?
No. I thought it before I was of age to grow one.
All right, we got one correct guess. Carson, you guessed Michael Mastrodomenico. That is the correct answer. That first game against Youngstown, September 23rd. You've won a family 4-pack to one of the 2 games this weekend. We'll be in contact with you. Aiden, Noah, Rocky, thanks so much for this week.
As always, thank
you, guys.
You guys
Appreciate
listening to Outside the Box. We'll see you next Tuesday.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in